With over 1,000 Pokemon that exist, not every one of them is going to be good. In fact, some of them are really, really bad. And unfortunately, when a Pokemon is bad, it typically means that they are often forgotten about and people will be less likely to use them. However, I'm someone that likes to see the good in every Pokemon. And just because a Pokemon is considered bad, it doesn't mean that they are completely without any positive traits whatsoever. So today I will be using a full team of awful Pokemon. And I'm going to try to see if I can redeem any or all of them. If you have an idea for a Pokemon team, be sure to comment below and I will use it. And if you like this kind of content, feel free to subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Now let's get right into the battles. Good morning, afternoon, and evening, lovely people. Today I am using a full team of quote-unquote bad Pokemon. So I got this suggestion from Damien, who suggested bad Pokemon. So I thought I would use 6 Pokemon that people definitely don't use because they have a lot of flaws to them and everything. And these are Pokemon that you just basically wouldn't ever really see. So I have 2 interesting battles to showcase, and I hope you enjoy them. Now, I know that I said in the intro that I see the good in every Pokemon, but wow, Zebstrika was so disappointing. I'm sorry, but like, this Pokemon gets some really great coverage. I have a special set with Volt Switch and Thunderbolt. The Pelipper terrestrializes immediately, which was definitely a good part on them because they want to conserve the rain. They're running a rain team. So I have a Jetpacked Overheat set on this, and I also have Terra Flying with Lightning Rod as well. So I'm going to go for the Volt Switch. The Overcoil comes in. They're going to set up the Swords Dance. And I'm going to bring in my Regirock. So I have Sturdy on this, but I just tanked the +2 Liquidation in the rain. Now I'm running a special Regirock. Like I'm not running like a Stealth Rock Regirock because obviously this Pokemon has a lot of defense. So I wanted to use it offensively. So this is a special Regirock with Meteor Beam. I take out the Overcool. I don't even think the crit mattered, by the way. So the next Pokemon that comes in is Kingdra. So I was like, okay, well, they're just going to revenge kill me easily. But the Scale Shot misses. I was like, oh my gosh, that's great. I could go for the +1 Power Gem. This is a crazy set. I have a Charge Beam Power Gem and Earth Power on this as well with Stellar Terra. It's crazy. And this Pokemon's naturally good defense allows it to live a lot of good physical hits, and I do have Sturdy as well to just live any hit. So the Kingdra is going to get more defense drops after its Scale Shot, and I'm going to go into Oinkologne. No one uses this Pokemon at all, but I actually really like Oinkologne. And this is a really interesting set. So they're going to go for another Scale Shot on me. I'm wondering if they're like loaded dice or not, but they get 4 hits, so I assume it's probably loaded dice. So they're going to drop their defense even more. I am max HP on this, so I have a lot of natural bulk. And I'm going to go for the Double Edge that takes out the Kingdra. I was like, yes, Oinkologne got a KO. And I actually put recoil damage on me that gets me lower than half, which is good because I'm running a Custap Berry Gluttony set, which is going to allow me to eat my Custap Berry at half HP and do some really big damage to the Ludicolo with the Double Edge. This is a Curse Double Edge Lash Out High Horsepower Oinkologne, and it's an offensive set with the Custap Berry and Gluttony, and I have Terra Fairy just as a defensive Terra. So I get taken out by the Weather Ball, so I'm going to go into my Fione. Now, judging by the amount of rain turns that there are currently, I knew that the Pelipper was Damp Rock, so I really wanted to stall out this Ludicolo. I actually outsped it with Fione, which I wasn't expecting, but like, I'm running a Choice Scarf Fione, so that was really great. And now the rain stopped, so my Volbeat can be able to outspeed this Ludicolo, which I assume is maybe modest, but I'm running a Choice Banded Volbeat on this. This set is crazy. So I take out the Ludicolo with the Choice Banded U-turn, and I'm going to bring back in my Fione. So this Fione is Choice Scarf. It has U-turn, Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, oh my gosh, Ice Beam and Terra Blast Grass, and I just one-shot the Pelipper with the Hydro Pump in the rain. Holy smokes, this Fione is actually like, it could catch people off guard with just like, its speed, I guess. This, even though it's not Manaphy. So Hatterene comes in. They're gonna set up the Trick Room. So I was like, okay, well, they're definitely setting up the room for the last Pokemon they have in the back, which is definitely gonna take advantage of the Trick Room with how slow it is. They're gonna go for the Misty Explosion. I take the Misty Explosion. Just I lived on 19 HP. I wasn't expecting to tank that hit, but the Snorlax is gonna come in, and this is a Pokemon that I was definitely like pretty afraid of because they're belly drum Snorlax, and I knew that my Hydro Pump, even in the rain, it wasn't going to do anything to the Snorlax because this has a lot of HP and special defense to it. So I thought, well, I want to get as much chip damage. It's not like I have a switch into this Pokemon. So I'm going to do some pretty okay damage with the Hydro Pump. I assume this is like an offensive Snorlax, so it's not really like bulk oriented. But I got taken out by the Crunch. Now, I needed to stall out these Trick Room turns, so unfortunately I had to sacrifice my Zebstrika there. But after this turn, the Trick Room is going to run out. Thank goodness for Trick Room in singles. So I'm going to swap in my Volbeat here. Now, this is Choice Bandit, as I mentioned. I have Terra Ghost with Focus Punch, but the Snorlax never went for Body Slam. So I decided that I was going to U-turn into my Chimecho. My Chimecho gets turned into Taco Bell, by the way, because I get taken out by one Crunch. But you'll see Chimecho in the next battle. I'm really excited about that set. But I'm able to outspeed the Snorlax and 2-hit KO it with the Choice Bandit offensive U-turn from Volbeat. That's the end of that first game. Some really interesting stuff there from my special Regirock and Choice Bandit Volbeat. So if you're enjoying this video, please do leave a like on it. Help spread this video around. I would really appreciate it. And now on to the second battle. Now this second battle was also interesting because we're both me and my opponent are using Pokemon that are definitely lesser seen, which I thought was really interesting. So, well, I say that, and the Espatra is here, and Espatra is a very, very threatening Pokemon, but they set up the light screen, which I really wasn't expecting. I was like, oh, I wonder if it's dual screens or not. I'm not really sure. So, in case this was a setup, Espatra with Calm Mind Stored Power, because it had Speed Boost, I'm going to go for the Trick, and I'm going to Trick it a Choice Band. Now, Volbeat is really good because it has Prankster, so I can go for Prankster tricks. I also have Thunder Wave on this set as well. They go for the Lumina Crash though, unfortunately, so I was like, shoot, I might get killed by that. Well, I'm just going to go for the Thunder Wave, try to see if I can get a Paralysis on this. Maybe I could get a full para, but I expect to be taken out by this next Lumina Crash. But they get fully paralyzed, so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go for the U-turn just on the off chance that they get paralyzed again. And they get paralyzed again. I was like, oh my gosh, what? I just got so lucky. And I'm going to go for the U-turn and take out this Espatra. Oh my goodness. This Volbeat just absolutely lucked the Espatra. Volbeat is I actually like Volbeat and Illumise. I know that's a crazy take, but I actually like those Pokemon. So the Dodrio comes in. Watch this. So Zebstrika goes for the Thunderbolt. Man, the Dodrio takes that, but this Pokemon just does not have good special attack. Although, to be fair, the light screen was up, and I do barely take the Thrash. I was really worried about this Dodrio being the Tangled Feet set, but thankfully I am able to 2-hit KO it with the Thunderbolt. Good on Zebstrika for getting a KO. So I'm going to go for the Volt Switch on the incoming Magcargo. Now, Magcargo is really interesting to see. I wasn't sure if this was a stealth rocking set or what it was, but it just goes for the Earth Power. So maybe it's a more offensive Magcargo, but they do have leftovers as well. So I'm not sure if this does have stealth rocks. But in any case, I want to trick away its leftovers because I don't want this Pokemon getting any kind of recovery whatsoever. And Focus Punch, I knew that they were probably going to go for an attacking move on me. Although it would have been a really funny play if they went for Stealth Rock as I went for the Focus Punch. But they go for the Flamethrower and take out my Volbeat. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I have my Fione with Scarf Hydro Pump, which is going to do a lot of damage to this Magcargo. So going for that Hydro Pump, that just absolutely washes it. 4 times weakness, it's going to take it out easily. So the next Pokemon that comes in is Malamar. Now, Malamar is pretty bulky for my team to deal with. And I didn't know if this was Assault Vested or if it was Contrary Superpower, but they just take me out with the Foul Play, which is good because I don't have to worry about Superpower Attack Boost or anything. So I'm going to bring in my Oikalone. Really, I want to do as much damage as I possibly can to this Malamar. Freaking Foul Play does so much to me. So I go for the Double Edge, and that also puts me in range of my Custap Berry. I got so many surprise KOs with this Oikalone set. It made me really, really like this Pokemon. Which is definitely not an opinion that anybody would have, but this Pokemon has a great shiny. And it also, both the male and the female Oikalone, they just slay. So I'm going to get taken out by another Foul Play, but I do put the Malamar in red health, but they're going to go for the Protect, probably scouting what move that I'm going to go for on my Fione. I wanted to put this Malamar in range of a U-turn because I'm not running any attack investment, so even though it's 4 times super effective, it wasn't going to take it out from full HP. So going for the U-turn, that's going to take out the Malamar. So I was like, okay, that's good. Now, the next Pokemon that is going to come in is actually a Pokemon that is definitely common. So I'm going to bring in my Regirock. So I have my Sturdy intact, and they're gonna bring in the Great Tusk. Now, this Great Tusk is gonna have a booster energy and attack, so I was like, okay, this thing's gonna do a lot of damage. It's gonna go for the Headlong Rush on my Regirock, but it doesn't even take me down to my Sturdy. What the heck? This Pokemon is so tanky. This is my favorite legendary Pokemon, by the way. I love Regirock. I really couldn't do a lot to this Great Tusk, so I just went for the Earth Power. I drop his Special Defense, which is nice, but they take me out the Rapid Spin, which is unfortunate because now they have the potential to outspeed my Scarf Fione. So I thought, well, there's one Pokemon that I have that could really deal with this, and that's my Chimecho. So this Great Tusk has Giga Impact. I was like, what the heck? That is not a move that you see on this Pokemon. So this Chimecho is fully set up here, and Great Tusk is like a really good victim for me to set up against. So this is a fully defensive Chimecho. I just hiccuped. This is a fully physically defensive Chimecho, and I have a Key Berry as well to boost my defense. I do take the Giga Impact from the booster attack Great Tusk, thank goodness. And I'm running a Calm Mind, Draining Kiss, Stored Power Chimecho. Now, this Pokemon gets really bulky. It's basically like a Cresselia because it also has Levitate and everything. But I have Recover on this, and I'm going to go for the Kiss. And after the Stopping Tantrum and the +2 special attack, I just easily KO the Great Tusk, which is great. So I was like, okay, my Chimecho is basically fully set up here at the moment. And the last Pokemon is the Crocodile. So I thought I should be able to take a knockoff from this thing because I already ate my Key Berry, right? So they're going to Terrasilize their Crocodile into the Fairy type. So I was like, okay, well, they definitely did this so they could tank a Draining Kiss from me. I actually have a Terra Poison on this as well, but they go for a Fling Light Ball. I was like, oh my goodness, I wasn't expecting Fling Light Ball. That's going to always, when you fling a Light Ball, it always paralyzes you. So I was like, okay, well, they're definitely going for the paralysis endgame. They do get the full paradigm. I'm like, no, please don't do this to me. Come on, I'm fully set up. And they have Crunch as well, which does so much damage to me. And thankfully, I'm able to break through. Stored Power just absolutely one-shots the Crocodile. This Chimecho, I might upload another video just fully dedicated to Chimecho because this Pokemon was so good. But thank you all so much for watching. My name is SkyLaaa. Don't forget to smile, and I will see you all next time.